oldest son, he's 45, and he voted for Trump.
Okay, just working, it seems
So
to be
at the
working.
end of this argument, we ended up ending up, and we agreed to disagree. But it was it just immediately got charged.
Doesn't mean you didn't say anything.
Sometimes the hardest conversation.
That would be nice if I did.
Sometimes the hardest conversation. With very different things.
I got it.
You get it, Matthew?
Mhm, trying.
I'm prohibited from talking politics at work.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
I went over 3 people.
Yeah.
Not talking about it.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Indivisible, our August meeting. Do we have any new faces and people tonight? No? Okay. Well then, I will tell you about our new leadership. Okay. We received the election results and the leadership team met. We turned over roles to people, and then there was some appointments made by the group. One of them was as president emeritus. They asked me to step up and take the role of president for a while. So I'm your new president.
Thank you.
But I am. It's an unwritten rule between Maggie and I that we are co-presidenting, because Maggie was voted to be on the leadership
I was nominated and voted on as vice president.
yes,
Member at large.
member at large. And so we also, so then I asked her to step up and take the vice president position, and she accepted. And
Which I was before, but it'll be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's.
Well, thank you, Meg.
I'm just trying to keep us afloat here.
Clapping for you in a minute too, Cindy.
Yes. So with that, Matthew is our new secretary, and Sandy is our secretary emeritus. So
I'll
she's
just help wherever.
just helping out where she can.
Yay, Matthew.
Yay.
Thanks, Matthew.
There we go.
Cindy is our treasurer, and I see we're doing
It's me.
work this evening to get her on board.
Yeah.
Thank you. Angie is continuing as our PR. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is been communicating. Roberta had been voted as our events. Unfortunately, she has since declined. Some changes in work and things like that have come up that she can't commit the time to it that she wants to. So the events is a vacant position right now, but we aren't planning on doing great events. And if a rally comes up or something, I'm figuring we've got Charlie and Lori as our at-large members that we'll drag them into
There you drag in.
And we also did let Roberta off the hook, that we're asking her to continue, but not having to be at the meetings and things like that. So it's not like she abandoned us, she just has conflicts of interest, conflicting priorities, I guess you could say. So that's what we got with that, okay? So we'll move forward here.
You said there were no new cases, because I think I have to look up and list for your name, Steve.
Yes.
Steve Crystal?
Caster. I was here last.
I thought so. So there's Steve Kessler, might be new to you.
Okay.
Hi, Steve. Are you from Iron River, Crystal Falls, or where are you from?
I live over by Sunset Lake.
Oh,
Babies.
okay. Okay, well, welcome.
So what we wanted to do, if you're following the agenda, is last month, we had Whippiter in here, and they were talking about waste management and recycling. Lori we'd hoped to be here tonight, but Maggie's gonna take lead on this, and continue the discussion that we've had and some research we've done. And I'll let you take it from here, Maggie.
Okay, thanks. So, since the last meeting, I think I had started the spreadsheet before the last meeting.
Mhm.
And now we have updated it to include every local government that we have. Why don't we I'll pass them to them, I'll pass them to the back and, yeah, pass them on. And that's and I'm bringing back up the extras. So on that, and I should take one myself, and what I'm talking about.
Oh, let me share it.
I'll just take them. So, as you see, they're alphabetical. I've talked to quite a few clerks, and it's been interesting conversations with them. Runs the spectrum from kind of offensive to like, yes, we do need something. We need something in place. So they recognize the need as much as we do. I think most of them do. So the reason for this, for you to have this, and for all of our members to have this, Angie has posted this in the newsletter, or what do you call it when you send out that? It's a newsletter. Email blast. Because it's an email blast. And it's for people to identify their own township or municipality. They can see when the meetings are, who to contact about the meeting if they'd like to be on the agenda, or if they have questions, where the meetings are held, the address, and then I found out from each one what they currently offer for services. So, really there are only two on here, Iron River Township and Bates Township, that have nothing available. But like Stambo Township only has a spring cleanup, and they tell residents can contract with GFL on their own, which is extremely expensive, as Melissa found out. If you are a homeowner and you want to contract for garbage services with GFL, that does not include recycling. They'll bring you a 10-yard dumpster, which is
This is for groups that Maggie's talking about. These prices are for groups.
it's higher than if it's an individual, but they
If
get
it's-
a bin.
We do a small bin, Sean and I do, and I think it's $33 a quarter or $33 a month. I believe it's $33
I
a
thought it
month.
was 33 a month.
33 a month? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Iron River Township,
Mhm.
I believe it's 33 a month, but they only pick up every other week.
Every other week, okay.
Where we live in that township, they pick up every week, and it depends on where you live.
That's because my mom, but she's
Mhm.
way down the road, so.
And what were you saying, Walt?
Oh, we have, what is it, GFL?
GFL.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's about 38 or 40 a month.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's if you're going to do it individually, you have the bin that you bring out to the end
Yeah.
of the driveway. And
Well,
then
it's regular, like they have the garbage cans here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it a bin.
Oh, okay.
Because a dumpster,
Yeah.
10 by 8 by 4 feet, and that's if you could agree with neighbors where it's going to be parked, neighbors can go in on it together.
If you wanted to get like a neighborhood dumpster, one of the big ones, like
Yeah.
a 4x4 or 5x5.
No, they're not
We
that.
see some communities that do that, like down the road from us, there's a lake organization, and so they chip in together and they pay for that, so I'm not sure how much that costs per month, but it's probably cheaper than the small individual ones. But
Maybe
that's,
it depends on how many people share.
Yeah. the one I've got here is for, if you were gonna ask your municipality to create something for you.
Right.
So, but I'm interested in that information.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
10-yard dumpsters, 10 by 4 by 8, 10 by 8 by 4. It's $125 for them to drop it off. It's a $371 fee for them to pick it up, and it's $95 a ton for contents in it. The larger 20-yard dumpster is the same drop-off fee, $125. It goes up to $440 pickup fee, and it's a $95 per ton. So that's what the municipalities probably know. They've maybe looked into it, but if the residents go to a meeting and they show they've done their homework, if they can tell, speak to these numbers. I mean, then the township knows, the people are really getting concerned because they're, they have this information. But that doesn't cover for recycling. So for that, there's places, Eagle River, Phelps, Crystal Falls has the service there. But you can see what all the townships offer here. And one of the township clerks that I talked to today, Karen Milan at Mastodon, said, when you finish that spreadsheet, and could you send it to me? She said, I'd really like to see how we all compare. And she sounds like she'll be a strong advocate for the county to get this together and have a cohesive one plan for the county You know, and that's what the state,
That would
and that's
be
what
nice.
Whoopiter is encouraging. That no one resident should have to drive further than, what do they say, 30 minutes to get rid of their trash if it's a drop off. You know, if you live in Iron County, way up by Golden Lake, you go to Waste Management, that's a almost 30-minute drive. So, anyway, that aside, so how do we talk, if we decide to go to one of these meetings, how do we bring up our concern? And so we've got some talking points for you here. And Melissa, do you have this?
No, I can hand them out maybe.
Okay, you hand them on. Oh, thanks. Where did I put mine? Okay.
Do you want Sandy?
So there's protocol, as you all may probably realize. If you've ever been to a township meeting or county meeting, you know, you've got public comment, you can speak during, but they usually limit the time, oftentimes 3 minutes to each person. You have a question?
I was just gonna say, can you remind us, because, I mean, I was here and taking notes, but about, what was his name?
Brendan Fresno?
Yeah, Brendan. Brendan was encouraging us to do what we're asking, what we're presenting today. But he was encouraging, could you just remind us about what Whoopiter's position was about and why and what they were encouraging us to do?
Yeah, Whoopiter, Brian Fresno, he's one person of 6 counties. So he's got all these county officials to work with, and each county is supposed to have a planning management commission. Our county has 2 people on that commission, Mark Stauber, who was at that last meeting here, and Mike Stafford, who didn't come. So I can't speak to what they've done, but we just don't have anything in place yet. And Mark Stauber's usual refrain is, we gotta get these townships together behind this plan. We can't make a plan about the townships, and the townships but think it's the county's responsibility, and really it is. But they have to find a way to get the townships to work with them, if it's gonna be one cohesive, you know, project, so.
Okay,
Anyway.
great. Okay, I got those talking point things.
Oh, here.
Thank you.
Is that the same thing? Yeah. So, so you start out, if you want to be on the agenda, it's a good idea to call the municipality where you live and ask to be on the agenda like a week beforehand. And the numbers are there on that chart. If you don't care to be on the agenda, you just want to make a brief 3-minute comment. You don't have to be on the agenda or call. You go there, and then on your agenda, they allow time for that. So you have to be ready to step up when they say, are there any public comments? Sometimes they don't wait very long. They rush right into the next item, so you better be
They don't like what you're talking about, too.
They're afraid to hear what you're going to talk about sometimes.
It's happened to Tim Ballinger quite a few
Oh,
times. He's
yeah.
been ushered out because they don't like what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's Iron River City, I think. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, your comment might go like this. My name is Maggie Sheffer. I live in Sample Township. And I wanted to make the comment on materials management plans for the county. So I specifically got my plan here. So I would say, I'm here with concerns about the handling of trash and recyclables in our county and township. Since waste management closed nearly a year ago, residents of this township have been on their own to contract for garbage pickup. And since that doesn't include recycling, all of it is being disposed of as trash, unless we individually haul our recycling to a location 40 to 50 miles away from home. So in our township, I appreciate the annual spring cleanup, but we make trash all year, and no one wants to hold it in their garage for a year before disposing of it at the spring cleanup. So that doesn't also help us with recyclables. So I am interested in knowing what consideration you have given to the handling of waste materials in Stanwood Township. Put the question on them. And then depending on their response, let's pretend you're a Stanwood Township commissioner and you just listened to that. And now you have to respond. You can make up whatever you want.
Here, I'm just gonna move up here.
Okay, yes, official.
No, I need to have a desk in front of me to protect me.
Gotta get in the mood.
What have the commissioners been considering for trash handling in Stanwood Township and recycling?
Well, it's never been a township responsibility. It's always been a county responsibility, and we expect the county to do something about it.
Ah, yes, I think we're all in the same boat. We expect something to be done about it, and the county is definitely, has a chief responsibility. But that doesn't help us if they're not taking the lead. Then perhaps what can we do in our township to get something going here for township residents, so that we have something, some sort of service, until the county has a plan in place, which they're mandated to have in place by 2027. Otherwise, the state will impose something on us that we might not be happy with. So what can we do in the township to facilitate this planning commission to move forward, or to show an example of what we're doing that can be replicated on the county level? Have you ever discussed ideas?
Well, we've had some investigation about it, but at this point, we don't see a solution. I mean, we are waiting on the county.
I see, okay. That's what they often do, back to the same excuse. Okay, so let me tell you, this is what I and other township residents are advocating for. And that's on that point sheet that you have there. You know, what about considering a monthly or weekly drop-off site at the town hall or somewhere in the township for garbage and recycling if possible for residents of the township, staffed by you decide who's going to staff it, or if there's a need. I think there are enough people who want the services in place that if it wasn't too time consuming for them, if I could sign up for monitoring the drop off for 3 hours, 1 day of the week, put me down. I'm sure there are other people who would probably give that same service to the township until something better comes along. But meanwhile, we're still generating more and more trash. You could contract with GFL for dumpster delivery and pickup, and then we can give those prices. And but we want you to ensure that we have access to affordable options for recycling and composting through interlocal cooperation. That's with the county. I could go on with the facts that are, but you get the idea. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your concerns, but we would have to do something that was fiscally responsible, and right now there's no money in our budget for it. Adding something else.
Yeah.
For a service that has historically been covered by the county.
Correct. I realize that. And taxpayers pay taxes that covers their plowing of roads and water and sewer. And this is one of those things that, along with water and sewer, we all make trash. And is there some way that it can be folded into our already, the taxes we pay on those services? Or will there have to be a millage to increase the taxes? Those are the things we might want to know that before we even go into talk. So we have to have a millage to approve increase in township taxes so that these services can be provided or added to the others.
What about using a dumping fee or like a bag fee?
Yeah,
you drop off a
right.
bag of garbage, you could pay.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's a drop-off location identified, right, and a place to put the bag of garbage. Yeah, then they'll still have the fee. Yeah, the fee should cover the pickup or the drop-off of the dumpster and the pickup and all those charges, related charges. Yeah, does the Crystal Falls Township have that? Is that how it's set up?
Not for recycling, for garbage pickup. There's you have to buy a sticker for your bag of garbage.
Okay.
So it's like $3.25 or something.
$3.25 a bag.
Yeah, a bag.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not bad. I'd do that. I'd pay $33 a month to the township to run what you're getting from GFL every month. For.
I looked ours up, and it's $45 a month to do weekly through Iron River for GFL, and we live in Iron River Township. Yeah.
Those places where it's
45.
where it's every other week.
You pay quarterly, but it comes out.
Did you say it's every other week?
Which 33 now.
33 for every other week, 45.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, not to belabor this, and I think this is good rehearsal for our next meeting. Maybe we'll do a repeat of this if we have new people at the next meeting, because our goal really is to get people to the meetings starting to talk. If it takes every meeting, every month, where are you now in a month's time? Has there been any progress? You have anything to tell us? Kind of putting the pressure on them, wouldn't you say, to get this going? Yes?
Knowing how obstinate most of them are about any kind of change,
You're talking commissioners?
might it be maybe an idea to have a petition and the citizens sign to where they have to start thinking about, and this is what,
Yeah, and
hold it,
petition,
that we kind of hold
Yeah.
it to them.
right, that's a possibility, that's one way to go about it, and I think in any given township, there probably have to be a certain number of
Yeah.
signed petitions that would be presented to them, and then they would probably take that to a ballot proposal.
Yeah.
To get the millage to do it.
But,
But it's a
but it
start.
would get, it would get some results.
Yeah, same.
Probably 5-6 months ago, I don't know just how long ago, me and Matthew went to one of the Iron River Township meetings. And we just asked, what have you guys done for recycling? We've been starting to talk about it, and there's nothing available with that closing. It was shortly after it closed. And they basically said, well, we really haven't, and like you said, we don't really, but we can look into it. So they kind of put it
I'll
off.
look into it,
But then we haven't been back since. But because we went once, now I feel better. We can go back and say,
yes.
all right, you said you were going to look into it. Where is that at now? So it might not be a one time going to a meeting, getting an answer right away.
Right.
But if you keep showing up every month,
it's slow.
eventually,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to make you go away, they might start looking at doing something,
Yeah,
but regardless,
Right.
it was, I feel better going back
Mm-hmm.
a second time now because we went once and asked the question.
It gets easier each time.
I still don't think it'll be easy. It's not.
No, it's not easy
but,
because you have to have kind of new strategies and new arguments for it.
Yeah, it was just asking the question the first time.
I don't hesitate to use the word argument, but you know what I mean. New persuasion.
Information and
yeah, and you can also go probably into your township or municipality's website and find the minutes for those meetings since then.
Yeah.
And if they say they're going to look into it, you think then that would be a table item, right?
Yeah,
And if it doesn't come back on the agenda any month after that, then
they ignored us and I lost track.
yeah. So sure. Any comments or thoughts about how we can proceed with this to make this an effective campaign? Get these people going.
One of the concerns that other than all the obvious concerns, I think that, I always like to say that, we all live here because most of us have chosen to live here because of the natural resources, and many of us live on dead-end roads or, and I can't say that I've seen this myself, but I've certainly seen it historically where trash dumping in the middle of a 40, you got it on your land?
We've got it one side of a dead end road, and we have to monitor it because it's our favorite people to go to this quarter mile down the dead end road and dump whatever they've got. Yeah. So we usually we pick it up and get rid of it because it's just other people see it dump there, they're going to make it a dump site.
Right.
So have more of that now because of waste management.
Right. I was driving on that cutoff in Crystal Falls, where you enter Crystal Falls over to 502. And there was a mattress up the side of the road and several bags of garbage. That was several months ago that I saw that. I don't know if it's still there, but they're concerned about blight. That's a good argument to make.
Well,
if you have concerns about blight in our township or our city, then this should enter into that. You'll have.
And if you actually knew, if you had that, I think we talked with Brendan about how to report that. But I think just bringing that height, I can't imagine that people aren't aware of that. But maybe not aware that this is just heightening that problem.
Right. And there are certainly, it can only help to report that when you talk to your commissioners. What the road is, what you've seen there, that was never there before. But if there's increasing dumping going on, along roadways or stream beds of all things. So that's a good point to make too.
And speaking of dumping, large items, we do have a couple other things on this one handout. One is for large and small appliances, recycling them. if they're working. And then below it, the Village of Alpha, I talked with them today. They have a scrap metal site for anything that doesn't work. They list what they won't accept. They won't accept microwaves, refrigerators, or air conditioners. But they'll take scrap and small household appliances, stoves, washers, dryers.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is, there's a phone number, it's out on the Facebook site, if you do, that's where I got the information from, the acceptable and not acceptable stuff. But that's, would be some place for large items, to get rid of and get posted out there or something too, that,
So what did you say they can't take? Refrigerators,
microwaves and air conditioners.
air conditioners, okay.
Yeah, they can't get rid of
All those will be picked up or can be picked up by Efficiency United or Upcall.
If they're working.
If they're working.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need them to be working.
We do. Thank you.
So I would like to format, where there's something you can actually use, depending on how many people come against for next meeting or, get involved. Would you mind putting your name under your township? And then I want to create the spreadsheet that, we can start listing our people as to who lives, how many people live in Spindle Town. Then we can contact them maybe by group and say, look, here's the talking points. If you're concerned about the garbage and recycling problem, which many people have been the last couple of months, the room has been pretty full with people complaining about it. Then we can encourage them and maybe empower them to go to the meetings and start this conversation. So if you wouldn't mind just putting your township.
Potentially, one of us could go and speak with them if they're gun shy of the, talking in front of the public or something, that, we had a group of 4 people, what we're doing the planning commission stuff, if you get a group showing up, it makes more of an impact on the municipality.
Right, especially when those are people they have never seen at the meetings before, but they're township residents. So now they're here for this reason, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now we're on to treasurer's report.
I am the old treasurer, but I do have a report.
Okay.
Old treasurer's
Oh,
report. Old money, okay.
New money. Where we're at right now, our checking account has $776.94. We also have $37 in cash. It's contributions we had our last meeting. Our spending balance is $643.40, a mutual aid of $143.48. Plus, we have $137 in our TrueLink debit card yet. So
147, 137.
I'm sorry,
Is that 147 or 137?
137.
37, okay.
I can give this to you.
Okay, yeah.
You want to take that off of there? Indivisible National has a program where they're, if we raise up to $500 now, they will reciprocate and give us up to $500. Anything that we could put into our TrueLink, which is our debit, through ActBlue, it goes directly into our account, and then they will double it for us. So anything new, the 137 that's in there now, that's not effective.
Is it just donations, like what we've got there, that goes into the TrueLink?
No, it does not. That goes
Well,
into our checking account.
Why
I'm sorry.
couldn't it?
Could somebody I'm
Yeah.
sorry, this sounds, is there a way around it? Could somebody pocket that and turn around and write it and make a donation through it?
To that group.
Through
Why
ActBlue?
not?
That's what I
You
was
wanna do
thinking
it?
too.
No.
No, but I
Just
thought the
asking.
same thing,
We can do that.
we wouldn't want the treasurer to have to be the person to do that because it's too close, what I mean? But it would look like a member went into ActBlue and made this donation. And that would start that,
And then it would
Yeah.
and
double.
then, is there an end time to
Yeah,
this?
the end of August.
Oh,
So we've got
okay, so we got to
weeks.
do
Everybody
it
divvy up.
tonight to make it. You know, at one point I was going to do that,
Yeah, me
and
too.
what happened? I have problems with that. I have problems with more than activators on technology too.
It's all legal.
Yeah.
Whatever we can get away with. I talked to one of our regional reps once, and I was telling him about our last year we had that meet and greet up on top of the hill. That restaurant, I keep forgetting its name. Liminal, yeah. And I says, we had this Indivisible Gather account, and I said that would be really good. I said, whatever we spent on it, you guys gave it right back to us. And I said, I thought there was some rules on that where you couldn't have any politicians there. And we had 4 or 5 politicians. Some of them they would talk, like Calibar was there, and Irizarry was there. Anyway, he says, well, you couldn't do that. And I says, well, we did it. He says, well, then it's legal. If you got away with it, it's legal. Now you're starting to sound like the federal government.
Yeah.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Okay.
Okay,
That's
so,
it.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
If we have any volunteers who want to make a donation, Jack Blue, Chuck will count this up and turn it over to you, make a record of it that you're going to turn it in. And by the way, there's a stamp here that says, stamp money out of politics. If you would like to use it at the end of the meeting, just come on over, take out your bills, and stamp them. I've had this for years since Citizens United came out, or became whatever the law. And just rediscovered it the other day. I said, I'm taking this into Indivisible meetings so people can stamp their money.
Okay, so the primaries are over, and we've seen what the results are. So now our focus turns to the general election on November 3rd. There was do we have the handout for the
It's right there.
Okay, we have the handout of who will be our general election right here. You want a copy of that?
It's been changed. You picked up one last meeting. That's different now.
Yes. So we've got that. The Dems have been doing the Get Out to Vote campaign. I know they're asking anyone that wants to volunteer to sit at tables with them to do so. It's basically nonpartisan in the sense of just they don't care who you are, just as long as you get registered to vote, and they'll help you get registered to vote. I don't believe they talk anything other than that.
Well, I think they're having Democrat candidate materials to pass out.
Okay, might have that too.
Yeah.
That's true.
I have a question. Has Kim Benzie, that's her name, has she been allowed to run in that?
Yeah, they're ready to go ahead on one.
They need to go ahead?
What was the whole problem?
She's running as an
Independent, and there was, more than a family, several people in the Marquette area that were challenging how her petitions were signed. She signed all these petitions as the ones that collected the petitions, and somebody said, no, you didn't collect all these. And I don't know, they checked it and they approved it anyway, so she's ready. She'll be on the ballot.
Was this
3 of them.
What's her first name? Sarah?
Sarah Kamenzi.
Sarah.
She used to be the rep up there too.
It's a Kamenzi.
Yeah.
Camdensy.
Yeah.
Kamenzi.
Yeah.
So we have to update this.
Well, that's no.
an
She's not.
issue with?
We're not voting for her in Iron County.
Okay.
This is just for Liza, right?
Yeah.
We are? Oh, we are. Okay.
For our Michigan
Oh, I'm
Senate.
sorry. Michigan Senate? Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was one of those other options then.
Okay.
Kelly.
38th District Senate.
Is that the 38th district?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So we'll have to add her. What was her name, Kelly?
here's Sarah, isn't it? Kelly
Sarah Kamenzi.
Why do you mention Kelly?
Because Kelly's will be running against her along with Dave Preston as the Republican candidate.
Kelly who?
Kelly.
Why are you saying, no, Kelly's running against.
Kelly, this is
Kelly.
This is Kelly Van
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas.
I got that name down now, too, a lot of practice.
Okay, so we'll get this sheet updated to have Sarah on there, okay? And also, the leadership team had voted or decided on that we were going to do an invitation letter to all candidates that, asking them, giving them the times that we meet, and that we are inviting them to, attend our meetings and speak if they want to, and it's gonna be sent to, all candidates, Republican, Democrat, and to see if anyone wants to stop in, or they can contact us and do that.
That's just two of these meetings, the
Yes.
September and the October meeting.
So we're gonna get that going and send it out, see if we get any responses from them, you know. And we have the survey yet, we haven't had anyone responded when it was sent out. But we could maybe either send it with them, we're thinking, or if they do come, we could ask our questions based on that survey to get a good idea of if they're following what our survey says. You know, it would be another way of getting some answers from them. And so the last part of the general election is, how do any of you see our role in the community prior to November 3rd? I know National Indivisible has I just found today, 21-page document on how to go out and vote. So it's that they're asking, do you want forums, canvassing, phone banks, and it's instructions on how for us to encourage our members to do that if they want to. But we're testing the pulse of you guys to see, you know, are you willing to make, you know, knock on doors or make phone calls or anything like that. I personally am a really bad person for that. That's why,
You know,
Yeah.
and
you know,
I feel that way usually too, but I have been encouraged by the people who do the trainings for making the phone calls. There's some training available, and they set up that you're only calling the people who did not vote last time around. You're calling those people who are undecided or, you know, unregistered, you know, and encouraging them to get registered and to vote. And because those are the numbers we need in this next election, those people. Or one of them is just, you'll only be contacting other people that are voting Democrats. Why? I don't know, but, you know.
Is everyone aware that statistically, if there's a low vote of turnout, Republicans win, and there's a high vote of turnout, Democrats win? Time and time again.
That's
So
just
getting
that's
people
just-
to
yeah,
vote
right,
is
right.
going to turn the tide.
Yep.
And that's why voter suppression and everything is going on.
And just looking at the results of the primaries when El Sayed won by 1%, there is the example of how critical that 1% of people's vote was in his winning the election. Getting more people to get out and vote, of course, can increase that percentage. But
I mean, could we, like, for the next month's meeting, have a talk on that? We could read that freaking 21-page document.
yes.
But I mean to
Summarize
say, yeah, or summarize it for everyone, and then look at if people wanted to do the phone calls, that maybe you could get the training or find out where to get the training
Right.
from, or
Yeah.
maybe we could post it out on one of our emails or something prior, just so we're getting it out to the masses, not just who's coming here and you know on these nights or something like that. That we would at least offer people the know-how on how to do it if they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be good, and I'd like your percentage there. But when do you understand that this is what happens? You know, people need to.
Yeah.
It might be. That's acceptable.
It may not be specifically get out to vote, but it could be. But I think that when I see the content creators on like Instagram that I'm on, and they're so convincing, I mean that influences me in my understanding of who to vote for and so on too, because I break down the issues, you know, both candidates and so forth, often whatever their content is about. But why can't we just do that? Why couldn't, by reposting some of those, so people see that you've posted this, Therefore, this is your stance, right?
Mhm.
That has a lot of power. And I've even seen some posts now where it's not even a content creator, it's just Joe Blow getting, recording himself pleading with people who follow him to vote. We can do that.
Is it something we could do where if somebody comes across a good one of these,
Yes,
I'm trying really hard not to be on social
I
media,
know.
but
That's what I'm
if somebody would say, hey, here's a good link if you want to watch it and see if it's something you want to repost.
Mhm.
I mean, I do get on occasionally, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be on there watching
Right.
all of these.
Yeah.
I make myself crazy.
I
You
know. You have to really.
So, but if I knew who might be good ones to check
I'll
out,
flag them to you.
I
I'll
think
share
that would be a
Yeah, I
a
don't know
valuable
who's on
thing for
Instagram.
the membership. You
I
know?
think I sent you things on Instagram.
Oh,
A couple
I don't
of
do
times.
Instagram.
Oh, then, yeah, that's just the one social media that I am active on.
Yeah.
Also, just a reminder that anybody in here who's on Facebook can post in our Rise of Indivisible closed group on Facebook. And that is our most concentrated group. We've got close to 500 people who are members on that group. Our mailing list is less than 250. Our email list. And our regular Facebook page has less than 100 on it. Our Instagram following has less than 100 on it. So that Facebook group, and any of you can, if you're on Facebook and you're finding something like that is relevant to, you all can post it in there. You don't have to be like the admin of the Rise Up page.
And then that's something we could grab and post
Correct.
individually on top of it.
Correct.
So if I'm on Instagram and I see something I want you all to see, I can go to share it and I find the Facebook icon and share it to Facebook. But there's some step along the way that asks me who on Facebook are you sharing this to.
Right.
And that would be
The group.
You want to get to the group page, not our
Yeah.
regular page.
Okay, group page. All right, I'll give it a try when I find something for that works. I need to learn how to do that.
Call
I will.
Well, what's the difference for the rest of us? What's the difference between the group page and the regular page?
How
How do we
do
know?
you tell the difference?
Yes.
Can we
I
bring it
have-
up on the screen? Show us all?
No, but if I can tell you really quick, one of them,
Put a different banner on one than
yes,
the other or something like that?
hold on, but I gotta look.
This is, I'm guessing,
So,
They're both have that.
they both have this.
I believe they
What
both
do you
have
think?
that, but they look a little different.
no,
They both have it. Okay.
the
Okay.
Facebook one is blue, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, like an
Our Facebook page, you have to have in order to have a group, you have to have a page. And so, Rise Up Indivisible Iron County is more blue. The one that is our group looks like
The brown.
actually like this. I think it's this background. And it has an exclamation point in it. I know these are silly ways, but it's how when I'm like looking for them to do a post for us, that's how I remember. Our Facebook page is blue and doesn't have any punctuation in it. The group where all you can post anything you want to post or start a discussion or anything in it is this logo and has an exclamation point in it. Am I doing that right, Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, this is kind of what it looks like.
492 members.
Right. That is our most robust place to reach out to people.
The group,
Yeah.
Within the people who've already expressed interest or wanted. Now there's some out of town people in there. Like my sister's on there, but she's here part of the year. But she doesn't vote in Michigan. But so there are some fringe relevancy there. But still, it's reaching out to a group of people who are.
so when I
You have
open,
to join though, in order to be, you have to join the group.
Yeah, or be invited. You can
and
invite
where do you
people.
join?
You can invite, yeah.
Cindy's got Commissioner?
I got it up on mine too.
I think
Rise
it's
Up
our-
Indivisible, the group page on Facebook.
Yes, but now you need to go there.
Oh, you need to click on that.
And now you're on it.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, on what I had first, Cindy's June 18th post was the last one.
Right, that's how, it just brings, that's like think of it as a Google search, it brings up places where Rise Up has been mentioned.
Yes, right.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be within the group, like if I said, hey, I had fun tonight as my status at the Rise Up meeting, which we need to work on, and then that would show up in that search. But once you tap on that, then now you're in the group, and these are the posts within the group.
Okay, I'll look at them in a minute, but right now it says, write something. So am I in the group?
Yep.
I've already joined.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember doing that, but okay.
Yeah, and if you are not in it and you join, somebody who's an admin on the Facebook page, which I think I'm the only one right now.
I think I am too, but I don't know why I am.
Oh, okay. Because you have to let new members in on a regular basis, and somebody needs to remember to do that. So I'm just telling you, if a week or two goes by and nobody's let you in, the next time you see me, say, hey, let me in there.
No, I think you have to add me. I think that was like the PR person and the president.
As admin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
probably a
we've
good
got a
idea.
couple on there to keep.
I'll
each
put
other's
that on my
backs.
to-do list.
Okay.
But if any of you have any questions about that kind of thing, if you, after the meeting or something, or anytime, if you want to show me your phone and see if you're doing it right, because I just really think that group is an effective way of communicating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on there. I have the manage too, so I don't, if you want to take me off or I don't.
Okay.
Either way, I don't do anything with it. I could be a backup if you ever need me to.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not on leadership, but I'm
whose
still
name is
here.
a top contributor to our Facebook group page
Who is?
is Joe Werner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen her this summer, but I know she's here.
Yeah.
She comes in the summertime. I've been thinking, I need to just reach out to her and say, come to our meetings when you're here in the summertime.
She regularly shares stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on.
Okay.
Well, Michelle isn't here tonight. She's been coordinating with Feeding America. This Wednesday is Feeding America in Crystal Falls. There's not a formal list of people that need pickup that Crystal Falls does. Not like the church in Iron River where they have a list of people that need a driver to pick up for them. Crystal Falls does not. So I don't know if Michelle's planning on working off the list from Iron River or not, or if you know of someone that needs pickup, all you gotta do is show up in Crystal Falls and put their name down on the list, number of household, if there's a veteran, and they'll give you boxes. One thing we have.
You could do it for Iron River households? too?
Yes, oh yes, for Iron County, that's why they do it every other month, so people aren't having to drive always to one place. It's a balancing act between the two sides of the county. We have previously dropped off boxes at Amy's Pantry down here. Legally, I found out, because when we were working last month, that there was extra, and I said, well, we'll take that and bring that to Amy's Pantry, and they said, you cannot unless she fills out an application to be approved by Feeding America. Like the mission filled out an application form. And so we can give things to the mission. So, and I've let Erin and Rhea know that, and hopefully they've let Amy know that, and I can always reach out to her to find out if she's done that application. Now, that's not to say that if you get a box of food and there's something that you don't like, you can't drop it off at Amy's. I mean, it's like, but you don't want to say, I'm picking up, Rise Up is picking this up for Amy's Pantry. You're picking it up for yourself. And then you can choose what to do with it when it comes into your household or for the other person. Just because we don't want to get caught in some
Legal.
illegal thing going on. I mean, it's like no one's doing this to harm anybody. We're doing it to help. But Feeding America has some really weird rules. Like when you're sorting food, you can't let it touch the ground. You can't put bags of oranges on the ground. They have to be on a pallet. There's all kinds of weird rules with Feeding America that the group has to follow. and you gotta wear gloves when you're handling, plastic gloves when you're putting things into bags and stuff, so I mean, yeah. So I mean,
Finances.
Don't you get the mail, in your mail, please, for
yeah,
donations?
seriously, I'm not sure, I'm not sure who's behind the
I
whole
think
thing.
it's a donation.
Finance.
But just to know that there's rules in place, but again, it's kind of like someone taking the donation jug and then putting it out to the card for us. That's, you know, I'm not advocating being wrong or being illegal, but you know, it's what you choose yourself to do. Okay.
Yeah, roll country.
And Maggie, you got the last
Oh,
run
okay,
here
so-
with Cook's Run.
yeah.
We'll update our Cook's Run.
Carried up, we've talked about Cook's Run for a long time. Now, it appears to be coming to a point where a decision will be made. We thought in July that they were gonna vote, and a motion was made by one commissioner to accept the you all know about the request for proposals that was issued back in the spring, due date June 3rd. They received two proposals to take on the management of Cook's Run, Cabin, and Ray Ponds. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not.
It's on the very west end of Iron County, 13 miles from Iron River. Cook's Run is a Blue Ribbon Trout Stream. It's a historical site. It was developed to be a fish rearing pond stream in 1935, and a rustic log cabin was built for the caretakers to live in. And it's quite a site. It still is quite a site. It belongs to the county after the state gave it to the county in 1961. The county has managed it since. For many years, they leased it out to people who were in that business to come there in the summer and rear their fish, and then in the fall, they would collect them all and take them to wherever they were going to plant them. That ended in around 2013, 2008 really, but then in 2013, one random year, somebody tried to do it again, it didn't work out for them. So it's been standing there idle, but the county did put a new roof on last year, shingles, or 2 years ago. And then the conversation started, how long are we gonna keep putting money into this place? For what? And they saw the potential to make some revenue by having a timber harvest out there, of which there is a plan in the county's forestry plan for harvesting timber out there. So this being on the radar of some of us, we decided to try to get involved and advocate for Cook's Run, to keep it in the county hands. The one group that submitted a proposal is proposing to become an official legal Friends of Cook's Run group. And they have submitted a great proposal. I mean, it is, right? There's a few people in this committee, in this room who are on that committee. There's been a lot of work that's gone into that to make it very professional and very comprehensive. It answers all of the deliverables the county asks for in their request for proposals. The other proposal was submitted by Forest Park Schools, but written by the Forest Park Schools forester, who wants to manage that forest for timber harvest. But to get the school is the only entity that can actually receive it from the county, because there's a clause in the deed that says it has to be a federally funded entity that is going to take it on. So if the county gave it over to the schools, that would satisfy that requirement. However, in order to appeal, he's written in like we'll have an environmental or a forestry careers sort of thing, education component in there for the students. And in July, the county had looked them over. One motion was made to accept the Friends of Cook's Run's proposal. There's 5 commissioners. Of those 5, the other 4 voted no. And then there was a brief discussion, and then there was a motion to table it. And then there was also discussion of, well, why don't we reopen the RFP? So that's what they did this last meeting. They reopened the request for proposals. So the committee, Friends Group Committee, has gone back and put all of our best points and work together into a new proposal, so that they can't say, well, we can't accept it. We rejected your proposal when it was voted down in July. You can't really expect them to consider that one again. So we're making a new proposal, and whether the other party is making a new proposal or not, we don't know. But the due date is the last day of August, they're gonna open them on September 1st, and they meet on September 8th to take a vote on which of these proposals should be accepted. Now, after September 1st, I could widely distribute our proposal, couldn't I, so people know what's in our proposal. We would like the public to know how our proposal compares with the other proposal, because on one proposal, ours, there's lots of cons, as Becky said today, and fewer pros. Or pros, I get that different.
Yeah.
Lots of pros, fewer cons. But the Forest Parks proposal, as they submitted the first time, has a lot of cons and few pros, really. They didn't answer the deliverables. So they might be rewriting it. There's very possible. Yes, Chuck.
Did they give you a reason why either one of the proposals were not acceptable to them?
The commissioners just simply said, well, all along I just really liked the Forest Park proposal the best, but he hasn't said why. And one of the commissioners, Patty Pareto from Central Township, has said, these folks, she prefaced her motion with this, these folks who wrote this proposal for the Friends group are smart people, they've been at every one of these meetings, they know what they're talking about, they're enthusiastic, why don't we give them a chance? So I move, and then her motion was defeated. So it really looks,
There is some relation here though too.
there's relationships there. Mm-hmm. Definitely. There's two people on the board that have relationships with other people in the county, Yeah, so that's the kind of thing you deal with in this little community.
I think also the forester for Forest Park is the forester for the county.
That relationship too, is the forester for both.
That's
Yeah. So we really need to fill the seats in that courthouse room on September 8th, folks, and we will really put that out to the whole group in some way that they don't just scroll past it.
I was gonna say, and Don does, intend to give a presentation.
He will be given, he's the chairperson, and he put together a presentation, like Lori said, with, explaining it and trying to be very persuasive. He showed us pictures today. He's been out there with his camera taking pictures of the cabin, taking pictures of the stream, and then he's fed them into AI. I don't like AI, but I saw his pictures and said, that's awesome. It's the cabin as it looks right now, but with the OSB taken off the windows. And, some pathways constructed and picnic tables and an outhouse or, toilet. None of that's there now, but yeah, he's gonna put together a good presentation and we'll see if that makes the county commissioners feel any bit at all like they should.
And his presentation, or his proposal is only for 3 years at no cost to the county.
No cost to the county.
We've already got a
Mhm.
money,
Yes,
what do you call it, grant?
there's money pledged,
Pledge.
donated for the first couple of years, but we have to do some fundraising to complete the 3 years.
So it would be no cost to the county, no problem.
Right.
But they are county commissioners.
The guy's got such wood for cutting that wood.
He's got
He
the
just
appetite.
can't figure any other way.
I know. There's gotta be some personal ambition about getting in there for that wood.
To him, it's a crime for a tree to die and not be cut down.
Right.
He has drunk the Kool-Aid. He has manufactured much of the Kool-Aid himself.
Sean, if you don't know, is an arborist, and he's been in there. And it's a
And there's not enough timber to make it worth destroying, which is what they want to do.
What was it today? Don said $138.
I think it's almost nothing.
To even run the equipment, everything they would have to do.
Yeah.
To run the equipment in there to create the least disturbance to the soil would cost more than.
I'm just gonna, because I attended the county commissioners meeting, other than spending social time with Maggie, and it's really the only thing she can talk about these days. And,
Sorry.
no, And that's all I knew about it, so I attended the county commissioners meeting along with several other people who are here. But one of the things that I found really interesting is that the contention about to log or not log is not about the whole property. It is about a section of, what's the R word? Riparian
zone.
The riparian zone that's at the center of it, and that the contention is that so there was some feedback from the commissioners about, like, you know, with all these forest fires and everything, we're supposed to be managing our forests. And this group is not proposing that the forest not be managed. They are proposing that the riparian areas that really are what feed the good trout population, and also where the cabin is, not be logged. But there's a lot of, am I doing that right?
Yeah,
Did I learn that right?
Very good. You've been a good student.
Oh, thank you, teacher. And anyway, I just thought that was really interesting, a point that
And
was good clarification for me
Right.
about what you're asking for.
That was used at the last meeting when the forester gave his presentation. That was one of the arguments used. And the arguments that were picked are arguments that get people's attention, like right now, with forest fires all over the country. If we don't manage that timber in there, all that dead spruce, there's gonna be forest fires. And the rebuttal to that is, forest fires don't usually jump the stream bed, and they don't usually do a lot of fire damage on ground that's saturated with water.
Which it is.
And their proposal did not say that. It said it was well-drained soil.
Yeah.
When the water table is 6 inches below the surface.
Do you have statements from an arborist in your proposal?
We should. We did get statements from Rita, and we got a comprehensive proposal from Aaron and Rita that we incorporated into our first proposal.
Yeah. To me, I hear the word arborist. It's like, well, they really actually know about trees.
Right,
So
exactly.
that might be
Yeah.
It doesn't transfer.
You
to
prepare I know, because forestry, their goal is to cut trees. Tree farmers.
But it would be a
Arborist
different
is,
perspective.
Yeah, it's a
but-
different perspective, and I wish we could come to the next meeting and make a really strong public statement for that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Justin?
Curious, in regards to the Friends proposal.
Yeah.
Could you, or maybe you have, I'm not knowing what's in it, but the education part of was that incorporated, so like maybe include both schools here in Iron County?
In our newest revision of our proposal,
It is in that.
which is trying to take what they are proposing for forestry education, we've incorporated it into our proposal. That we can have a win-win here. We can stay in the county's hands, and that way the county wins. But they win because we've got a friends group who's taking on the management of it. We don't have to pay any money. And then the school wins because we're still writing into our proposal that not just Forest Park School District, but West Iron and Waters Mead all would have access to that education program on it. And so we are addressing that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the historical aspects too.
True.
Signage out on the road so people going on Highway 2 know, oh, there's what that is. Fixing the roadway in so people can get in, parking spaces and historical signing in the signage in the cabin and along the stream bed. All of that is what we focus on for the first 3 years, if we're given the permission to go ahead and manage.
There's 5 county commissioners, and they don't have to give a reason for why they vote the
No,
way
they don't have to give a reason.
So
So our next mission would be to go there after it's logged and take pictures
Yes, before and after.
before and after.
We've got a lot of pictures before. We've got a lot of pictures from 1935 when this was developed into a very, very impressive how it looked then. And that was right after, not long after, heavy logging.
What's the name of the forester?
Brock Vanos.
Oh, that Oscar.
He's also been offering public presentations around the county, 3 of them that I know, at least I came to one here, and you did too, where he talks about sustainable forestry for property owners. And
He just did
there,
Bates. He just did Bates Township.
He just
right?
did Bates, right, at their township meeting, right? So when the one that I was at here, it's covered in the paper. There'll probably be an article in the paper next week about the Bates one. So he's getting his name out as much as he can possibly get it out, which he's recognized broadly as a good forester. He speaks the sustainable forestry talk, and I don't doubt that he knows what that is. And practice.
It's again, he said it's about trees. It's not about the environment. So with that,
Yeah.
we are going to. That's a good update. Maybe.
That was much longer an update. I should finish about 5 sentences.
We're near the end here. I mean, is there any new business anyone wants to bring up? Anything they'd like to see us cover in the future? We've got some follow-up, like I said, with the election things. We'll follow up with waste management. I think these will be our go-tos for a bit. There are like the data centers. That's I think we need to, or I might get more involved with that. With going to the meetings so that we get some updates on that. But does anyone have anything else?
Okay. Any strong opinions about what we should do before November 3rd elections in terms of facilitating, the voting process?
Gosh, that's soon.
That's so soon.
We need ideas. We have to increase our participation.
I know. Mm-hmm.
But it's good that it's coming up soon because things are pretty bad.
Pressure. Yeah, and things could
And
go
they
even
don't
worse.
have time to get a lot better before the election.
No.
And we had talked about maybe doing a rally, maybe do it before November, or just a rally just that we're standing out there saying go vote.
Yeah.
Like with the early voting, because we've got all those days, and
Yeah.
pick a corner. It could just be a half dozen people, but just reminding people to go vote. It's early voting, go vote, or something without.
Maybe we could do it at the same time in different areas. I mean, we had half a dozen people here or there. Just don't.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And if we don't bring a
As long as we're visible enough.
things
Right,
in,
when that's all it's going to do is
Just
say
about
vote.
vote.
Yeah,
Just-
go vote.
yeah.
Go vote.
Not partisan.
Yeah.
Election day, go vote. That's all.
Yeah.
Exercise your democratic right.
Okay.
Just
We'll
like
put
you
that-
said.
We'll put that down as, and we can talk next month about it, so we start getting it going and get people interested, hopefully. And with that, we can adjourn.
What's the next meeting date? September what?
September
Number
16th.
Okay. I'd say we do it early, first half of October. A month before elections. We could do it twice.
Yeah,
We could
twice.
do it twice. You're
Do
right.
it in October and then do it during the election itself, or the early, do it during that early voting period or something.
Yeah.
Well, the voting period is November 3rd, so.
No,
Before I forget.
it's 9 days.
Do
Yeah, early
stop
voting.
streaming.
Like,